Hey everyone, thanks for joining this Artist Talk video, and thank you to Cambridge Art Galleries for including me in the Show.21 exhibition at Queen Square. It'll be running until February 13, 2022, so if you're in the area, make sure you check it out before it closes. I'm Olivia Brouwer, and I'm a partially blind mixed media painter from Hamilton, Ontario. I'm currently in my apartment in my studio space, and it's a little bit tiny. But over the past couple months, I've been invited to 2 residencies at the Center 3 space and Cotton Factory. So I've been able to make larger and more work in those spaces during the pandemic. But right now, I'm kind of in transition. I'm moving to Cambridge in the next week or so, actually. And it's gonna have a garage, so I'll be using that space. I'll be renovating it into a studio. I'm kind of in transition, not really working too hard right now, but yeah, I'm excited about that, and I'm excited to be included in the show. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about me and my past, how I became an artist, and what I'm working on now. So I went to University of Toronto, Mississauga, and Sheridan College in the Art and Art History joint program. I graduated in 2016 and specialized in painting and printmaking. And in my 3rd and 4th year, I wanted to talk a little bit about my experience with blindness. I've been partially blind since I was about 3 years old. It was due to chicken pox. Apparently, I had this fever and both my eyes went bloodshot. The one healed and the other was left scarred, and I'm not really able to see too much out of my right eye. And I felt kind of self-conscious about talking about it and having this visible disability. So I wanted to make art to be able to talk about it and to get more comfortable in my skin. So in 3rd year, I kind of researched the Rorschach ink blot test kind of as a jumping point into what I wanted to talk about. And I was interested in these experiments in how the participant perceived and made meaning of these mirrored abstract images, which no one can know what it is actually. Until they kind of make meaning on their own, based on their own psychology, attitude, personality. So I kind of wanted to translate that kind of approach into my artwork. So I made these series of ink blot paintings, which you can see on my website. They're based on representational images, but they're all abstracted, so you can't really tell what it is. But I was interested in how viewers would see and make meaning out of the limitations that they had. So I worked with that over 3 years, and after I graduated, I kind of wanted to change my style a bit and what I was talking about in my work. So I wanted to address my Christian faith and tie it in with my blindness somehow. So I made a series based on just spiritual blindness, both metaphorical and literal, based on biblical parables and stories that dealt with blindness. And this was more of a personal response, just kind of a journaling series almost, based on what I wanted to change in my spiritual life, and what I wanted people to know about it, I guess. It was kind of a transition from my previous work into something more personal, but I just wanted to do it, so I did. And then from there, my current work, I just wanted to talk about accessibility and how visual art is very limited to people with sight. But I wanted to make it more accessible to people who are blind. because they can only listen to a description of an artwork or sound art. So I wanted to make it accessible in that it can be tactile as well. So the current work I'm doing is for people who are sighted and blind. I wanted to make that kind of bridge between these two communities, and I was interested in like how these two people with sight, people without sight, talk about what they're perceiving by their experiences. I was interested in like the juxtaposition and contrast of how they made meaning out of their senses, I guess. So it's kind of going back to my Inkblot series. So in the show, I have 3 contact kits. These contact kits have been made in the residencies that I've been involved in, actually. So these kits, I have one here. They come in a cardboard box like this. Looks like this. And they all have Braille translation with the English text. And it has my website, my Instagram at the back there, and it's all in Braille as well. So there's that box, and it comes with a painting with a sleeve on top, and it comes with these tabs that are removable, which go into this book that I've also printed. It's got a sleeve on top there, and it's an accordion style book. These sleeves are removable as well, and the tabs just go right in these designated areas with a line underneath, so you can translate the Braille with this chart here into English. And I just have like a couple of descriptions of how I made, about me and how to use the book, and about the project. And that's all translated into Braille in this little booklet too. So in the show, I have 3 paintings. This isn't the same painting included in the show, but they're all kind of tactile and kind of abstract shapes, very simple. But I've also in the book, I made this journal section here to describe what they're seeing and what their experience is about. And yeah, all the pages are embossed, so you'll be able to touch everything basically. And I just, that was kind of the start of all the work that I've been doing recently. I just wanted to make work that was tactile and easy to use, easy to feel, but all kind of abstract, and interested in how a visually impaired person would perceive something that they might not be used to, and they would have that accessibility to visual art. Another series I'm working on is these interviews. They're all painted in Braille, so you can kind of see that it's a little bit of, all these are bumps. It's very painstaking and painstakingly time-consuming. But these are all interviews by, I have 7 canvases. They're all interviews by blind or colorblind or some other visual impaired volunteers that have shared their stories about how they perceive the world with their blindness. So I was kind of interested in sharing those stories with the language of Braille, the unspoken language of Braille. And a couple of these will actually be shown at Center 3 in February, and they'll be touch activated. So when you touch around the canvas with conductive ink, it'll connect to a touch board which will speak out the interview that is being spoken here. So a blind person will be able to feel and understand the Braille, whereas someone with sight can just touch and listen to what's being spoken. So that's kind of what I'm working on now, and that's kind of what to expect at the show, these little kits. And yeah, if you want to follow me, you can go on my website, check out more of my work. You can also go on Instagram. My handle is @olivetreeonthemount. So that's kind of where I'm doing most of my updating there. But yeah, that's. I hope you enjoy the show, and thanks for watching, and thank you to Cambridge Art Galleries again, and hope you enjoy the show. Thanks.